If I don't do that and I go to, okay, Devi Prasad Chattopadhyay, if I just talk like that, they'll say, oh, you are a left-wing sociologist. Somebody like that, We are starting with Dilip Menon, and then immediately a lot of people have asked, oh, you have started moving leftwards. So whether we are left or right, the point is, what are we left with? This is the question that we would like to ask, When I spoke to Dilip, he was asking me, what can I do about environment? You are a people of, environment. What do I do about environmental issues? I said, we want to make a debate. We want to make a dialogue about our presence like that, Human beings in the midst of all other living creatures, We are all bound together. And what are we doing? Our political system is not the only thing. Our social systems are not the only thing. Our cultural, systems are not the only thing. We have to think about how we can exist in a kind of harmonious relationship, how we can do that harmoniously. We have produced a series of books, Books starting with nature and human nature. Sounds interesting, right? Human nature, there is a limit of what you classify as human character, but nature outside, non-human nature, nature and human nature, including the non-human nature. That was one of our books. Eventually we migrated, and the last book which we produced in 2019, which was published by Lexington, was called Post Green. I used the word post-green. I thought it was a conceptual issue. We'll just put it across like that. This is not merely green. This is not merely politicizing green, but it goes beyond the politics of green. We wanted to bring in so many other disciplines, As many other disciplines as possible, as many as possible. The whole thing should be open-ended. It's not a closed text, it's an open. And the context of what we are talking about in the present is this kind of openness, So to cut my long introduction short, ASLE has been actually functioning with this in mind, this idea of, how we can make a kind of dialogue with human beings and non-human nature. So we invite scholars of this caliber like Dilip Menon. Dilip has been, I don't have to introduce Dilip because all of you here are familiar with his works. In fact, many of his textbooks, I just saw that one of his textbooks is produced for the Delhi University. So then he has been in the classrooms, he has been in the intellectual forums, and he has been outside as well as inside. We have been thinking about him. One thing I liked about him was the kind of, casualness. He has a tremendous sense of humor, I must say. He says, "Njan cheruppamanu sare." Cheruppamaayalum, his sense of humor is amazing. Every time you speak, he'll cut a joke. So I'm sure he's going to keep you entertained for more than 40 minutes, 45